Some stories of war sound almost unbelievable. A soldier charging straight into enemy fire, not once, but twice, knowing exactly what it would cost. But this one is completely real. Corporal Bryan Budd didn't just fight bravely in Afghanistan, he made a decision in the middle of battle that would save his men, and it cost him his own life. That raises a question most people never have to answer. What would you do if protecting others meant certain death? The first firefight proved who he was. The second defined his legacy. This wasn't a one-off act of bravery. It's who he was. Welcome back to the war. Before the medal, before the legacy, Bryan Budd was already the kind of soldier others followed without question. He built a reputation not through rank alone, but through action. He led from the front, always visible, always present, always first into danger. Born in Belfast, Northern Ireland, he joined the British Army in 1995, joining the Parachute Regiment. He had served with the Pathfinder platoon, which carries out reconnaissance deep behind enemy lines. He'd toured in the former Yugoslavia, Sierra Leone and Iraq. In 2002, Budd passed his section commander's battle course with distinction and was due to be promoted to platoon sergeant. In 2006, he was deployed to Helmand Province, Afghanistan, as part of A Company 3 Para, one of the most dangerous areas at the height of the conflict. But here's what most people don't realise. The Victoria Cross wasn't awarded for a single moment of bravery. It was awarded for a pattern, 2 separate acts, and the first one revealed exactly the kind of leader he was. What he did in that first firefight explains everything about the decision he made later. July 27th, 2006, while on a routine patrol in Sangin, Budd's section identified and engaged multiple gunmen on a roof of a building. During the firefight, 2 of Budd's section were hit. 1 was seriously injured and in open ground, still exposed to enemy fire. Realising the need to drive back the enemy so the casualties could be evacuated, he led the attack on the building where enemy fire was heaviest. This forced the enemy fighters to flee, and they were successfully engaged. This courageous action proved decisive, but with risk. More importantly, it was a glimpse into how Budd thought. Protect his men at all costs. But this wasn't the moment that earned him the Victoria Cross. That came next. If you've ever wondered about your grandparents' or great-grandparents' military careers, I am offering limited spaces on our military legacy programme. Comment legacy below and I'll send you the details. August 20th, 2006, the situation escalated again. Another engagement, but this time Budd and his platoon were ordered to hold a small isolated outpost to protect engineers who were blowing holes in a compound close by. The site was constantly being engaged by the Taliban. Budd spotted 4 Taliban approaching and moved his section around a cornfield to cut them off, but they were seen, and the Taliban opened fire. Another group of enemy fighters fired on Budd's section from further away. Pinned down, under heavy fire, and with multiple casualties, Budd rushed through the cornfield in the direction of the enemy and returned fire in automatic. This allowed the rest of his section to withdraw to safety so the casualties could be treated. Budd was soon declared missing in action, so A Company, with support from Apaches and Harriers, were sent back in to find him. Approximately 1 hour later, Budd was found beside 3 dead Taliban fighters, but was declared dead shortly after. The Victoria Cross is the highest military decoration for valour in the British Armed Forces. It's not awarded for good soldiering, it's awarded for actions that go beyond what's expected, even in war. Bryan Budd's actions weren't just extraordinary, they were consistent. That's what makes this different. It wasn't a single heroic moment under pressure, it was a pattern of leadership, choosing risk, choosing responsibility, and putting others first, again and again. And that's why his story still matters, because leadership isn't about rank or authority, it's about what you do when everything is falling apart around you. After his death, Corporal Bryan Budd was posthumously awarded the Victoria Cross. His actions became part of a legacy that defines the very highest standards of courage in the British Army. But legacy isn't just about medals, it's about impact. The soldiers who served with him didn't just remember the firefights, they remembered the way he led. Calm under pressure, decisive in chaos, and completely committed to the men beside him. And here's something most people overlook. Actions like this don't just affect one battle, they shape the mindset of entire units. They set the standard for what leadership looks like under fire. So when people talk about elite soldiers, this is what they mean. Not just skill, but character. At the start, I asked you a question. What would you do if protecting others meant certain death? Now you've seen the answer Bryan Budd gave. Stories like this aren't just history, they're reminders of leadership, sacrifice, and the kind of decisions that define people forever. It wasn't hesitation, it wasn't doubt, it was action. Not because he had to, but because he believed it was his responsibility. And that's what makes his story so powerful. Was Budd's final charge bravery, sacrifice, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments. Now go check out our other videos on our Victoria Cross playlist. Hi soldiers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments, and check out our merchant membership programs. And don't forget to comment legacy for your family's military history. And don't forget to check back in again soon. That's an order.